Jelantru. Greetings and welcome to this Star Trek Online Starship review. And on that note, comms to bridge. Could you please silence the alarm in the conference room? It's really annoying. Actually, you can disable it altogether. These free Undine ships aren't getting through this hull. Oh, did I just give this ship a compliment? Don't get too comfortable with that. You see, I may have some disdain and some heavy disappointment at Cryptic. And I'm not entirely sure I was even going to do this review. But hey, if I can do it, I should do it for you guys, right? Those of you that come here expect it. So please allow me to introduce you to the Parliament Miracle Worker Surveyor Cruiser from Star Trek Lower Decks. The first ship from Lower Decks to be added. Well, they better not all be lockbox ships like this one is. Warning, she's an expensive gamble to get. And I'm going to tell you right now, hell, you can even end the video right now if you want to, because I'm going to just say it. She's not worth it. She is not even close to worth it. Even in the exchange, at any high price in the exchange, anything over 500 million, she's not worth it. Now, keeping in mind I'm going to be very critical here, because what we have here is a ship of the day, a ship of the episode. That is a lockbox ship. I'm sorry, but the only ships that should really qualify for lockbox or promo are ships that are hero ships or sub-hero. And by sub-hero, I mean ships that are repetitively reoccurring and bear some heavy relevance either against or with the hero ship. This ship, the Parliament class, did not have that role. It was a one-episode ship so far. Maybe it will turn up again, but let's just be fair. That doesn't put her on high enough standing. In fact, with her stats, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're looking for a ship that can do what I'm doing right now, just sitting here and having a bit of fun, literally playing God with the Undine, practically. Yeah, you can do that with the Miracle Worker Cruisers. They cost you 3,000 Zen, take your pick. You got a science, a tactical, and an operations one. They all come with pretty good consoles, they all come with pretty good traits, and the Operation Cruiser, despite being the double-decker bus of Star Trek Online, well, those Miracle Worker Cruisers are just this ship and more, because they are a damn hell cheaper. I will also give the review for those ships, so you can take a look at that. Yeah, so you can take a look at that. That's an old review, not a very good one, I do apologise. This is a very long introduction, isn't it? So you know what? Can I just say a thank you to my donators, Negus, Dante Demonic, Skyhawking, YouTube Patreons and YouTube members. How am I going to put it here? Tribal Typhoon, Travis Games, Dark Stars Order, Cross-Eyed Deplorable, Skyhawkings again, and Spike. And our Twitch subscribers, Tribal Typhoon, Miss Future Teach, Fox Plays Games, Lord Arminger. Hey, and Miss Future Teach again because of all those gifted she's done. You guys are incredible. You're helping me achieve the dream of this channel. Helping me, well, to get myself in a better place where my health will be safer. So a massive thank you to you. It means a lot. So if you're all comfortable with it, and if a 6-minute long introduction isn't good enough to prove to you guys that this shit can take punishment, which is about all it can really do, let's go into action, shall we? So just first of all, a quick look at customization options, and let's just be honest here, there aren't any. There's none. It's just a straight ship for us. Even if she has got similar appearances to the Centaur, which is my comparison for her. I would call her basically a fusion of the Centaur and the Nebula. Just without the benefits of them of the in-game versions. Now the Parliament does come with its own set of windows. It doesn't have its own bridge though, unfortunately. You can give it some fun. There are plenty of bridges to use that are very fitting and would work well with it. And the Parliament hull is nice, but personally, you want to give the ship a nice look. Go to Galaxy. There we go. That's more my version. Wait, there's a version of Parliament that I like? Oh no, don't get political on this channel. Do not get political here. Now, since there's no customization options available to this ship, unfortunately, we'll strike down a little bit. I will quickly note to you that you can still use the Defiant, well, let's randomize to see what we get here. Defiant, Type 0, Sovereign refit. Hello, Parliament again. There's Type 0 again, Type 4, Type 1. Sovereign's back. Type 6. Oh, NX refit. NX refit looks okay on this ship. Oh, come on. Give us Intrepid. Intrepid looking Intrepid. Yink. Type 2. Type 7 does about what you'd expect. Type 8 looks about what you'd expect as well. Or Type 8B. They're all relatively nice on the ship. It's very blanded, and you've got basically two main colour palettes. The forward segment of the ship and the rear segment of the ship. They're kind of separated. Easiest way to think about the way the hull is working on this ship. When you look at its normal iteration, its standard look, all the way back there. You can kind of see it going on here. If I put the Galaxy back on it, kind of why I like the Galaxy actually. Oh, Sovereign can go on it. What is white is one plate, and then what is blue is the other plate type. Whenever you change up the hulls, you'll notice those are the two plate types that change without a pattern on them. Simple as. Just as I was looking into going to possibly demo record, hey! The USS Vancouver showed up. A pleasure. Always a pleasure to come across a fellow gamer with, what I like to say, good sense of humour there. You definitely caught on to my little joke. Well, since that's put me in a bit of a better mood, time for the stats. Here we go. A Tier 6 Federation or Federation Allied ship that you can use once you've completed the tutorial as per usual. Right, I'm saying the obvious here. Sorry Klingons, no love for you. Well, unless you unlock the ability to fly Federation ships. Now, impressive states to say, she has a hull modifier of 1.45 and a shield modifier of 1.125, with 4 forward and 4 aft weapons, 4 device slots. Her console layout is 2 tactical, 5 engineering, 4 science, 1 universal. She is a miracle worker ship. Impulse modifier of 0.15 and in frictional traction, an inertia rating of 0.40. Her bonus power settings are impressively plus 10 to weapons and plus 10 to auxiliary, with plus 5 to both engines and shields. The amount of popping I'm doing at the moment really means I might need a pop filter. Now, we'll go into other things about her when I click out of this mode. Let's just focus on what we have here right now. Bridge officer standings are poor, very poor. And do you know what? I'm glad someone else said this before I did, because let's be honest, this is one of the reasons why she's disappointing. As USS Vancouver pointed out, this ship is one of the most bashed ships to ever join Starfleet STO, and I don't blame people for bashing it. I and bashing it badly. And rightfully so in most areas. For example, with a Lieutenant Tactical, a Lieutenant Universal Miracle Worker Specialization, come back to that, a Lieutenant Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Science, and Lieutenant Commander Engineering Miracle Worker Specialization. This ship starts off on a... what? Okay, I'm just going to summarize over all the stats. It's easy to do it that way. Yeah, she has the defensive stats to be an incredible tank. And then for some reason she's missing a fair chunk of what you do on the basic level to generate threat. So you've got to do your threat generation via your traits, your clickies, and through smart use of your consoles. Sorry, and your bridge officers. Smart use of your bridge officers. Support is fine. Actually, this ship is absolutely amazing in support. It does support exactly how it should do. So we are looking at a ship that will be great at tank in some aspects, and will be a great support. Except she's weakened in support because, by classification, every ship in this game has to have some level of decent damage. If you don't do enough damage, you're going to get a little bit of penalties whenever you do TFOs and certain other things, even though you are active and taking part in the mission. And this is disgusting because this ship's stats actually makes it very easy to end up in the bit getting a penalty when you don't deserve it. She's furiously lacking in tactical DPS. However, I say this on the basics level. As far as this ship goes, basic speaking, she is atrocious. Now, thankfully, through watching a certain augment, I was able to pick up on some of her stronger areas, ways to counteract her primary weaknesses. So yeah, massive shout out to Oggy for that one. And in testing, I was able to utilize miracle workers to somewhat argue against and fight this as well. This has resulted in a ship where, although the stats on paper are not groundbreaking, she has literally half of what she needs for whatever build you're going for on the surface. Going down below, there is ways to get back. Now, I haven't really been able to generate back the threat generation, but I'm not a DPS player. There are some really useful consoles too that you can get that will help you do this, such as the Ion Storm generator that you get with the Baran class. That is a Zen Store ship you'd have to purchase though. Similar thing go for support. However, it's very easy, now this can be noted here, to do a science control boat / hybrid engineering tank, whole tank build. And this will give you a somewhat unusual hybrid build that will still be universally useful in any run, and will stabilize the damage to at least get you to, I'm going to go above average. Support has to be able to deal average at the absolute minimum. It wants to be above average when you're getting towards endgame. And unfortunately, this ship, DPS wise, support, you're going to be looking closer to average. And that's at your best, and that's worrying for me. Until you start taking advantage of areas which require a lot of knowledge. Funny enough, areas I'm not so great at. For example, you can bring up her power by using Miracle Worker specialization. Now, it's not much, But you can actually get something of a good DPS damage output from her by utilizing your Commander Engineering and Miracle Worker to bolster outgoing damage. I will kind of show some things I've done for this, where you can utilize abilities like Energy Weapon Exceed Rates and Mixed Armament Synergy as a good way of bringing up that little extra firepower to really help her deal the damage that she's desperately in need of, let's be fair. Oh, pause myself for a second there. But as much as you can get that up, this is going to be a weakness. This is the reason I'm focusing on this so much, is this is the ship's weakness. As much as Cryptic likes to claim otherwise, unfortunately, this game has got itself way too much into that tunnel of you need to have damage output now to actually do well in almost everything in this game. If you run as purely a heal boat and just completely lackluster any damage output, you're going to be penalized every single one you do. And that's why DPS is so important. Yes, you don't have to go DPS. You don't have to be a DPS player. You do not have to have excessively amazing, incredible numbers DPS damage output. But you do need to at least be able to hit the average mark. Her weakness. That's what I'm critical on. And I know other people are critical about other things, but that's my critical spot. So, to shut myself up here so I can go into the consoles and traits. She is a good support. In the right hands, she's a very good hull tank. She has incredible defense, I'll give her that part, as I've demonstrated already to you guys. But there's more to tanking than defense alone. Her weakness is DPS. Big time. Okay. Yeah, you can tell I didn't think too highly of the ship. I didn't even go in the demo record at this point. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Alright. We'll start off with efficient demolition. This is a very situational trait. Subsystem power from defeating foes. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. On defeating foes, adds 5 power to whichever subsystem is lowest for 30 seconds. Let me put it this way. That's my normal. I would normally sit with my auxiliary and my weapons and shield sort of high and balanced. That's normal for me. That's because I'm a support player. I need auxiliary power, but I also need weapons power and defense. So I'm kind of balancing out the two. If I'm not doing that and I'm going heavy support and exotic damage, I drop my shields and now I'm doing a very high weapons and auxiliary, but my engines and shields are low. And I'm not really worrying too much about them. They don't have a major effect over my build, so why would I care? With whatever I'm going for at the time. Now, stats-wise, we're looking at a ship here that is going to be very, very powerful as an RPG exotic build, if you actually wanted to focus on that. With her, again, fundamental weakness being, it's going to be purely on the science side. There's not going to be very powerful. It's not going to be very powerful in the actual tactical side of it. So fine, whatever. So you could focus more on the exotics, really go heavy there, and use this kind of trait to bring up your rest of your power levels as you fight. Except for, if I'm reading this right, subsequent activations of efficient detonation providing an extra 10 points for 10 seconds will still affect the same power system. Now, okay, if it doesn't, And this is +5 to your lowest, but your lowest is now, say, no longer your lowest because of that. So the +10 goes to your new lowest, and you can keep this up in a swarm environment. You can max out your power levels pretty quick. There's no cap to it. So you could very easily max out your power levels, and you could very easily become very, very strong. Dangerously so. If you have all your power settings maxed out, this is deadly for any Romulan ship. But that's a swarm environment. It's requiring you to be consistently killing enemies over and over and over and over and over. And anytime you come across a situation where it goes, we're going to stop you now to have a talk and a little bit of a discussion in the middle of a TFO while your whole, everything you've got is just switching off. Yeah, that's not good to me. That's not good at all. As a result, she could have gotten a high score from me, but she's getting 6 out of 10. I don't think she's going to be a good trait, especially for a lockbox ship. Now let's go over here and let's have a little bit of play and fun here. Controlled gravimetric detonation. I tested this and started laughing. Now, passively, she's got plus 22.8 to kinetic and physical damage resistance. Shame it doesn't remove that from your enemy. Oh, it does, but not quite the same level. Plus 21.4 to Starship hull capacity. I guess that's going to give it more defense. Plus 28.7 to Starship exotic particle generator. Great, because, yeah, this ship is going to be better at exotic builds. And maybe you can utilize this on an exotic build. Hopefully, speaking, what I'm seeing, what I'm seeing of its kinetic damage output, hopefully speaking, we are going to be able to say that kinetic builds can still utilize this console, and it will be very powerful for kinetic builds, because I don't think it is at the moment. Now, upon activating the console, you deploy the demolition field platform grid around target or target exposed position for 30 seconds, disabling the engines and applying a minus 15 kinetic and physical damage resistance. Now, what's not being said here is that larger ships can push their way through this resistance. So larger ships can escape. Keep that in mind. It also allows for use of resonant gravimetric implosion beam for 30 seconds. When you activate that on the enemy, the first part is cancelled out. Oops. And then it deals kinetic damage of 1,536.1 kinetic damage per second for 9 seconds while foes are in the field, or they're drawn into the center of the field, and then at the center it detonates after 10 seconds, dealing 16,128.6 kinetic damage. Or my build, which is not a kinetic orientated build and is not really boosting any kind of kinetic output, so this is around the base that you'll get for it, not the high end. That's still really, really, really something to be said though, because that's a very low base, in my personal opinion. And when I actually put it into action, well, the ship I tested it on, which wasn't a high level cruiser, it was a little escort kind of classy ship, little frigate. I don't even think it took 2% damage from it. So yeah, it made me laugh. This console, if it was on a Zen ship, it'd have easily gotten over, it would manage to get over a 5 rating because of the passives, okay? Even if the actives aren't great, the passives are relatively good. They're useful. Especially considering how I said this ship could actually do a great exotic tank hybrid build. But this is on an infinity lockbox ship? No. This console, 3 out of 10. You want it to be way better than that console if you're going to be on one of these ships from now on. Cryptic, you're not going to get any high scores out of me if you're going to make so many lockbox ships and then put consoles like this on them. What happened to the killer go-to consoles, eh? You know? What happened to them? Absolutely beautiful, powerful consoles. You know, you even put one over here. It was on a legendary ship. No, it wasn't. It was on a Zen ship. It was on a Zen ship. Ugh. When a Zen ship gets better consoles. Huh, promo ship. Okay. Enough, yeah? You guys want to see the ship in action, I'm sure. I'm going to show you this ship at the absolute peak of what I can get out of it. I'm sorry, it will be disappointing. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, shield power back down. Let's go. Because I need to be weapons and locks for this build. Hopefully I can drag these guys in. We're going to activate that. I'm actually going to go straight for activation. Hopefully I can drag him in. And we're going to focus on the guys in front of us. So you can kind of see what he's doing. You can see... Oh, Hideki's actually taking some decent damage. So, yeah, that's it over, guys. They're still held in there, but that's it over. Did that do enough damage to you guys? I want to at least... And Hideki should have at least gone to 50% on my build. Here's how you piss them off. Here's how you piss them off. Don't mind me, we're going to now go pick a new target. Galore class. Now, if I actually showed this console off from there, you'd be able to see how it pushes through. But we're not going to do that. We are actually going to be a bit more sneaky. I'm going to slow down a tad because I don't want to get in a fighting range with it yet. I have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, get them off. Are you kidding me? That should have taken it. That should have taken it out. You see what I mean about low power? This is the best firepower I can get out of this ship. I cannot do better. Hell, even if I did beam overload on this ship. I'll set that up a bit. Go on. I want everyone to see you pushing through. There we go. Look at him pushing out. Get under control. What? It should be very evident to see that what I've ended up with here is it's a support DPS vessel but it's a it's a support DPS vessel that, instead of trying to prevent the dangerous, really powerful ships that are basically devastating to escorts, this ship is better at taking out the little ones rather than that dangerous ship, which a support DPS ship should be trying to keep the big, bad, dangerous flagship under control, locked in, focused on itself, or hopefully the tank's got the attention, and trying to get rid of that ship as quickly as possible. So it's focused fire, it's destroy the dangerous target. Let the escorts take out the other escorts as well as the prime ships itself, with less threat. This ship is doing the reverse. It's taking out all the little flies and basically going, escorts, don't worry about the flies, take out the big bad over there, please. And yeah, that's a theoretically really good form of support DPS, because there are many powerful DPS ships that do like to focus on a single target. A single powerful target. And just wipe them out in seconds. This ship is doing the opposite. It's taking out the weaker ones. Fine! Yeah, that's fine! Okay! Oh, and that results in me thinking this. My final scoring. Cryptic, I'm sorry. I told you I was going to be harsher on you the more you did this kind of crap. So, suck it up now. From worst to best. DPS scoring. Tactical DPS score. 3 out of 10. There's no saving its tactical DPS score. The only thing that gives it any firepower is the miracle worker side of things. That is disgusting to note. Sorry, you fouled. Scientific DPS on this ship, however, gains a bolstered strength. It still gets the benefits of tactical DPS, of course, with its own little add-ins. This results in the science DPS side of this ship scoring 6 out of 10. She barely scrapes over 5, and that is, again, purely because of the Miracle Worker specialization. The fact that with that universal console, you can boost up to 3 or 4 tactical consoles, or you could really focus on the scientific prowess of the ship and go for 5 or 6 science consoles, resulting in her best score, 6 out of 10. DPS score for this ship, 4 out of 10. Overall, you fouled. You did not reach 5. Okay, support. Now then, support gets an overall from me straight away, because really, you do one part support, you can do it all. Strength and support here comes down to engineering and science. Engineering support prowess is obvious, and as a result, she'll get... Actually, I've gone from worst to best to then intermediate. But she will get 8 out of 10 as a engineering support vessel. With her scientific support being 7 out of 10. This is purely because it's only lacking in basically the science, the Lieutenant Commander Science instead of a Commander Science seating. Lieutenant Universal with Miracle Worker specialization still brings in that scientific side of things. And the consoles, it's just one less console. She's got all the maneuverability still, she's got all the potential. Overall support score for her, 7.5 out of 10. You did alright in an area. Tank. Now, funnily enough, her tank score could be great. Now, the shield modifier is low, so shield tanking This is where things are going to get nasty for me. Shield tanking, she's going to get a score of 6 out of 10. She is just over average for shield tanking with such a low shield modifier, but incredible scientific side to her to boost her up. Hull tanking, 9.5 out of 10. I can't argue it. She can hull tank incredibly well. But then we talk about tanking overall. She's missing her threat generation. And that's going to be the negative impact, which brings her score down. We then have the fact that she's a lockbox ship. She's very expensive, and there are a lot of other ships. The Resolute, I guess you could say the Legendary, which is expensive, but actually most likely not as expensive as this ship, the Legendary Excelsior. Don't even need to go into them. Did I mention the Miracle Worker cruisers already? I did, didn't I? Them ships. All of them hull tanking better than her, much cheaper, and all of them, minus the Resolute Zen Store, generating a better threat. Resulting in a actual tanking score for her of 7 out of 10. Do I recommend it to players? No, not to DPS. No, I don't recommend it to support because there are way better options you can go for that will not cost you as much. Do I recommend it to tanks? Do I have to answer that one? So, do I recommend her to Space Barbie? Yeah, if you like to have Space Barbie in the collection, she's actually, other than her nacelle, she's a very good looking ship, I'll give her that. So yeah, Space Barbie's other thing, you get a recommendation. I don't recommend it to new players at all, because this is a ship which really, well, I guess you could say new players are good because it forces new players to learn how to utilize specializations and use more advanced builds, because unfortunately only the more advanced builds will get the actual potential out of this ship. Basic practice builds you're gonna get nowhere near, and that's another disappointing factor on her, in my opinion. Just my opinion, but yeah, sorry guys. Fundamental overall score for this ship, final score, hate me if you want, 6 out of 10. No, Cryptic, this is not how you do a ship of the day ever. She would have scored higher if you made a Zen store easily, because you wouldn't have the expenses behind a ship with such limited stats, or specialized stats should I say, that then fundamentally fall apart because of one major weak spot. No, Cryptic. No. You disappointed me. Gotta have a video for that too. So, until next time guys, thank you for watching. Sorry about my anger. I hope this video has been somewhat useful to you. I apologise, but I cannot recommend getting this ship under practically all circumstances. And I've never had that. I've always been able to find something positive enough for me to say, yeah, I recommend this ship to this group of people. And it's an actual group rather than Space Barbie. Space Barbie is everyone in truth, if you like to play around with the looks of your ships. But nah, when it comes to build types, I can't recommend it on any of its build types. There's just too many better options. Sorry, Cryptic. You messed up on this one. Guys, please, in the comments section, let me know what you think of her. Shoot me apart if you want. If you feel like I'm being too harsh on her, feel free, because maybe I am. I don't know. But I can't get out of my head that this ship is, well, what it is. Can I say a massive thank you to you all for watching to the end of this video? And also, a huge thank you again to my Patreons, my YouTube members, my Twitch subscribers, my donators. You guys mean the world to me. You really are helping me out. Hopefully, I've not pissed you all off that much that you will consider becoming a member of the crew, but if you are choosing to disembark, please take care of yourself and stay safe. If you're staying on board, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you know when future missions are out. Hey, even check out Discord so you got some behind the knowledge of it. Anyone wishing to help out like the people credited on screen have done, links are in the description. But if you want to help the channel with no cost to yourself, please hit that like button. It really gets this video out there. Sharing on your favourite social medias does so too. With that, thank you for watching. Sorry for my anger. Till next time, live long and prosper. Excuse me while I go burn Parliament. Metaphorically and physically.